20 months after 19 students and 2 teachers were gunned down in Uvalde, Texas by a man who snuck into their school shortly after an honors assembly, the U.S. Department of Justice released a report on the incident, telling the world what it considers to be some difficult and inexcusable truths. The uniformed, armed officer stood immobile on the other side of a school wall from children calling 911, saying they didn't want to die, that their teacher was dead. The report revealed 75 minutes of shooting and dying and fighting for survival. All of that happening before sworn officers confronted the man wielding an AR-15 rifle inside Robb Elementary School. Attorney Stephanie Sherman, who's licensed to practice here in California, filed the first federal lawsuit on behalf of 3 survivors of that schoolhouse horror and now joins me live to share her reaction to the findings in that new DOJ report. Stephanie, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak on this. This is something we've been waiting for 20 months, and it basically reconfirms a lot of what we already had known about the epic failures of the school and the epic failures of law enforcement. It's 600 pages, the scathing report, and what I see in it is a call to action. It's a call to action for an urgent change in making sure that law enforcement and that schools are up to date and are practicing active shooter training. That to me is what really stands out here.
If you would tell me about your clients, how are they doing? Were you with them yesterday when this report was released? Have the families told you what they were thinking as these 600 pages were shared?
The most urgent question among clients and among families in the community is, now what? Now what? We have this report. It confirms what we already knew, that the police and the school dropped the ball. They failed to protect our children. They hid information. There was conflicting narratives over the past 20 months. They misled people and really concealed a lot of evidence. So now that we know this, it's been reconfirmed. Now what? They want change. Everyone in Uvalde wants change. They want indictments. They want terminations, they want justice, they want accountability. And out of 400 officers that were there at the school shooting, I think there's only been about 5 terminations. And that's just not acceptable to this community.
For me, listening to the report being released yesterday, one of the hardest things to hear was that the Department of Justice found that of those officers you were just talking about, that they treated this murderous rampage as a barricaded subject situation as opposed to an active shooter situation, and that should never have happened, and that it compromised lives. You mentioned that one of the things people want to see now, your clients want to see now, is active shooter training. Does it make sense to them? I'm sure you've discussed this, that wasn't part of the regular routine there in Uvalde?
It's apparent to me that there was a culture of complacency, that really they weren't expecting anything to ever go wrong. They were very comfortable in their jobs, but when the lights came on, they weren't able to execute their active shooter training. And they had active shooter training. In fact, the chief from the school, the law enforcement for the school, had just had active shooter training several months before. So this was fresh on his mind. And it's just simply evident that these things, either it was haphazard training or it wasn't enforced, it wasn't talked about, it wasn't taken seriously. Because on the day of the event, they absolutely had to prioritize the life of the children. And that means going in and neutralizing, distracting, or killing the shooter. They tried within the first couple of minutes, retreated, and never went back. And out of 400 people with active shooter training, they knew what they had to do, and they didn't do it. And that's really the most apparent thing from this whole ordeal, is that the DOJ is saying, this is not good enough. We need an urgent call to action to make sure law enforcement and the school are really taking this seriously.
To date, as you pointed out, 5 officers have lost their jobs as a result of what happened in Uvalde on May 24th of 2022. There have been no criminal consequences so far, but Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Mitchell says she's still considering criminal charges. Has that taken too long? What do you think those charges should be?
Well, I'm a civil trial lawyer, so I can't really speculate on her specific charges, but I do know Texas law. And among the things that she has that she could pursue is criminally negligent homicide and injury to a child. Criminally negligent homicide is a something that fits here because you have people that knew what to do. They were on the scene and they actually created and perpetuated a dangerous situation, and by their negligence caused harm. So my guess is that she will pursue something along those lines, and that's desperately what the families want because they're going through the community and seeing these officers still at work. They're seeing these officers at the grocery store and out in the streets still employed, and that's just not acceptable.
And just quickly before we run out of time, what is the next step for your client's case?
The next step for my client's case is to continue to pursue the civil litigation avenue. We're still waiting on the report from the Texas Rangers. They investigated the crime scene. That has not been turned over in 20 months. And in fact, the Texas Attorney General has been trying to prevent the release of that. So we're still struggling with that. We need that report to be able to move forward.
All righty, Stephanie Sherman, thank you so much. Once again, representing 3 survivors of that schoolhouse horror in Uvalde. We appreciate your time this morning.